So, making his way to the cage, Alex Montagnani, 25 years of age, a very exciting young fighter from the New Wave gym. 5-1. Frank, a man that lives by the sword or dies by the sword.
Well, it's early yet, you know, because he has 5 knockouts and his 1 loss is by knockout. It's a little bit early to say, hey, look, this is a guy that's going to live by the sword, die by the sword. But it is quite possible because of his style, his technique. He is a guy that hunts for the knockout. He's looking for it the entire time. Those big, heavy, hard shots all the time. He wants to slide in. He wants to make sure that he connects. Like, he gets disappointed when he blocks his punches. He's one of those guys. So I would like to see him try to change his game up a little bit more and try to do a little bit more overall game planning when he comes in. He tends to be striking game oriented only. A lot of sprawling, gets it back up to his feet, but man, when he knocks the guy out, he starches him.
I know he's with a good camp, with a good ground game, and I know that he has got a good ground game.
Some guys, I have friends of mine that are black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's amazing Jiu-Jitsu guys. Every time they fight mixed martial arts, all they want to do is strike. You know, like, it didn't make any sense to me. But it's their mentality. It's just how they think about the sport. It's how they see the sport, and that's what they want to do. And it frustrates me, you know, especially as a friend, seeing these guys fight. I'm like, come on, you gotta change your game up a little bit. But it is just the factor of life, and that's why we have the bouts, because you never really know how it's going to play out.
But maybe, Frank, nothing sobers you up like a knockout when you're a KO specialist. Maybe that changes the thought process.
When you realize that you are in as much danger as you are dangerous, it does change your thought process quite easily.
So Alex in the cage, waiting for his opponent now. Looking to get back on track. And here is his opponent, Nathan Jones, 27 years of age, from the Combat Company and Team Titan, known as Mr. Bag and Tag. He's got a 4-1 record, but Frank, by contrast, his wins are all by way of submission.
You know, and this is more of a classic style of, as he comes out in George's t-shirt, this is more of a classic striker versus grappler. This is definitely more of that kind of style. Nathan can throw punches, don't get me wrong. It's not like he can't strike, but he won't even strike to get inside. He's the guy that's going to try and take you down right away. Try to play the game. If you make it a stand-up battle, he'll battle with you because he's in that game, that mindset. But it never surprises me. It would not surprise me if he walked in there, touched gloves, and dropped right to his butt and tried to boot scoot in and grab a hold of him.
Well, the thing is, we've got opposite ends of the spectrum here. We've got Alex coming off his only defeat, his last fight. Nathan's only defeat was his debut. So we've got that opposite end of the scale as well.
And that is, he's come through it. He's obviously battled his way through it. He's got his 4 wins right in a row now. So he knows how to play his game, but he also understands that his best attribute is the submission game. So, like every young fighter, he's gonna stick with what he knows best and try to put it to the ground. Sometimes the guy that's just coming off a loss is much more dangerous than the guy that's battled his way back from a loss and come through it. After 4 fights, you get complacent. 4 wins in a row, you get complacent. Oh, things are working well, things are doing right. Where Alex is like, I just lost. I have to prove not only to my fans and to my sponsors, but to myself, I still have game.
That's the interesting part for me, is how Alex reacts now to that game. As you said, if it makes him think of the broader game or whether he still stays on instinct. And to test that instinct, that knockout instinct, what do they give him? A man that is a submission expert. That's what, as you said, you mentioned about Jude Samuel's matchmaking before. To me, it shows real thought in the way he looks at the careers and looks at what's on offer.
Yeah, and plus too, if you get a guy that's one of your athletes, he just got knocked out, why put him in another puncher's game? Why put him back out there again to get his head to chest a little bit? Let's put him back out there and give him something else, another tough challenge, step his game up, but something that's not going to do as much damage as it happened to him before, to give him a little bit more time to heal.
Right, so we have your MC, Mr. Mike Markham, with the official announcements.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the BAMMA welterweight division. Introducing first the man standing to my left and fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighed in at 168 1/2 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist. His record, 5 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of Southwest London, England, Alex Montagnani. His opponent stands across the cage to my right and fights out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet tall. His official weight 167.5 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist. He steps inside the cage with a record of 4 victories opposite a single defeat. Fighting out of London, England, Mr. Bag and Tag, Nathan Jones. Your referee, Mark Goddard.
Just an aside, Frank. God, do like that.
I know, right? Mr. Bag and Tag, I'm kind of jealous it's not mine. And if you're looking at the warm-up processes are sitting inside the cage, it looks like Nathan wants to use a little bit more striking tonight.
Yeah, I got that feeling. He looked so focused, and Alex, by contrast, just looked so laid back and cool, didn't he? Oh, high point roundhouse off the lead leg there. Oh, and as you said, the right hand immediately from Nathan Jones.
Try using more striking, but the moment they tie up, he'll spend as much energy he needs to get this takedown. He will not stop till he gets it out. Or he gets battled out and gets broken off, gets hit his way out.
Yes, Alex, the taller man by 3 inches. And as you can see there, where they're tied up, you can see the height difference. And just went for the trip as well, but you can see Alex wants to create that space, doesn't he, Frank?
He's trying to get him out. He was trying to go to a Muay Thai plum, trying to get a little bit of space in there, try to get some knees in there. And then obviously Nathan doing a great job of sucking him back in there, controlling his hips. I can't tell, but it looks like that Nathan's already been cut.
It would be weird if he was, because really the only meaningful punch was actually thrown by him, that right hand in that opening exchange.
Maybe it was just my eyes playing tricks on me as a shadow, but it looked like for a second that he was cut above his right eye. But I can't, I know for the life of me, I can't think of when it could have happened. Nice trip, finally gets it. Oh, good job, Alex, to get back to his feet.
And a right hand there. That's where Alex is so dangerous. You saw instantly, Frank, the response from Alex when he had that bit of space. The right hand and the left followed just after.
Very quick, very perfectly timed. It puts him in a position where you're coming from an angle you're not expecting, because he does play a tight, close game, but has such length that you think you're out of position. All of a sudden, he's right on top of you with a big fist.
And again, 2 knee attempts from Nathan, but he didn't really get the leverage or the power there. He didn't have the... They didn't really sink in, and now he's by default giving up his back.
And giving up his neck. Chokes in.
We said, how would he react to the knockout? Here could be his first submission on his record against a submission specialist.
Wow. Good position change. Can he get out of the hooks? He's got to get all the way out of these hooks, though. He's still in a bad spot.
So a real turnaround here, halfway through the opening round. It's Alex Montagnani.
Alex has got to get him flat. He's in a great position. He says get him flat not only either on his stomach or get him flat on his back. There he goes, flat him out again.
Now he must maximize it this time. He had the perfect opportunity last time. He'll be aware of that, won't he? Because you're not going to get that many opportunities, I wouldn't think, against a man with such submission skills, but he's got it here, Frank.
Again, he got him backed out. The thing that Nathan's not doing is Nathan's not trying to get himself out of this position. He gets the choke off.
He's gone. He's gone.
Wow.
First submission for the knockout specialist. He worked for it, and it was superbly done.
He took his time, got his patience in, missed the first one, but didn't give up, stuck with it again, he was right back through it. Nathan did an absolute horrible job trying to get his legs out. He got the choke off the first time, and then left both hooks in. He didn't get himself bailed out, and it gave Alex the position to go right back into it again. If a guy gets a position such as your back, or a tough, tight, any kind of submission on you, you got to move your body around it. Everything gets set up with that right hand, that knee slid in a little bit. And then immediately Nathan steps in, like I said, goes in and looks for the takedown, sucks it in, and will not stop till he gets it. And he finds a way to finally get it to the ground, but it doesn't do him any good because he ends up giving up his back later in the round.
Well, ironically, his only defeat prior to that was by submission as well. So he's got his wins by submission, all his losses by submission. When you were talking about that submission defense,
he's got to step up his game a little bit more. It's just not, I don't understand. Really, there's a lack of understanding of what to do when you get in that position, because he was in a perfect spot to get himself all the way out and just didn't move his hips or move his legs.
So here's Mike Markham with our official decision.
The bout ends at 2 minutes 43 seconds of the opening round. We have a tap out. Your winner by submission via rear naked choke, Alex Montagnani.